here with Hans Brings out of the Waltham market. Hans, the market's on fire right now. There's a lot of action. But that doesn't mean that every home is going to hit the market and that listing is going to create multiple offers right out of the gate.
It's very true. And we have that expectation with sellers. They all think that they're going to get that multiple offer scenario that first weekend. And statistics show that maybe, 1 out of every 4 or 5 properties actually get that multiple offer scenario and sells in that first weekend. I mean, if everything sold the first weekend, there'd be nothing on the market as of Tuesday, to say the least.
Now, what is the correlation to not selling? What are these people doing that it's not hitting right away?
Well, I always tell sellers if a property doesn't sell in the first weekend, don't be discouraged. The average time on market for a property in Massachusetts is still about 30 days. For every house that takes a weekend to sell, there's another property that's going to take obviously a lot longer than 30 days. So ask yourself some questions. Number one, if the house doesn't sell the weekend, was the house priced right? Did you go with what the realtor suggested? Was there any feedback, stating that the price was wrong? Number two, was it marketed correctly? Was it exposed right? What's the marketing plan on the property? Did the broker get the word out there to enough people? And then finally, number three, just simply, did the right buyer come along yet? It doesn't have to take a weekend. Sometimes it can take longer. As a matter of fact, the average is longer than the weekend.
Right. And people think it's like going fishing, throw that rod in the first time. You hear there's a lot of fish out there, the seagulls are flying around. It doesn't mean 2 seconds you're going to pop one on the boat.
It's a great way to think about it. Very true.
Right? But you got to make sure that you're working with the professional that structures the sale in the right way, the pricing, the marketing, and all that stuff makes a huge difference. Still doesn't mean it's going to pop.
Absolutely.
And just for the record, I just had a client that that bought a property that was on the market for, I think it was 272 days, and the final sales price was not that far off. Like people think, oh, it's free at that point, it's going to go at a huge reduction. It wasn't that far off of the initial listing price. So you got to stick with it.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. It's going to happen.
Thanks, Hans.
Thank you.
And if you're in the Waltham area and looking to buy or sell your home, connect with the best in the area, Hans Brings, at hansbrings.com. And remember, we have more tips and real estate information right here on our page on Real Estate Talk Boston.